Disney and all these media companies, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic. Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
That's her thanks to Steven Spielberg, who discovered her and made her. So she's an ingrate. She's annoying, and I think she's probably too...
Rachel Zegler, once Disney's rising star, has now become Hollywood's latest cautionary tale. You might remember her dazzling debut in Spielberg's West Side Story, but lately, she's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Her rapid rise to fame has suddenly hit a wall, packed with social media drama, mysterious disappearances, and major behind-the-scenes panic. Even Disney's magic touch doesn't seem enough to fix this mess. It all started when Rachel landed the dream role of Snow White, but instead of embracing the classic, she decided to rewrite the fairy tale rules. And sure, updating a story can work, but strip away the magic completely? Not a great move. Turns out Snow White fans actually wanted, well, Snow White. But Rachel had other plans, and her bold takes didn't sit well with audiences. What should have been Disney's next big success quickly spiraled into a PR disaster, turning a beloved classic into something fans didn't recognize. Kind of like biting into an apple that looks perfect, but turns out to be rotten inside.
Don't alienate half of the country when you're putting out a product meant to appeal to all. It's the Michael Jordan Republicans buy sneakers too.
Rachel Zegler didn't exactly hold back when it came to classic fairy tale romances. Forget Someday My Prince Will Come. It felt more like she was rewriting it to Someday My Lawyer Will Come. She openly criticized the prince as a stalker, called the original story weird, and dismissed the idea of a princess searching for love as nothing more than outdated nonsense. While some saw her as bold and outspoken, critics labeled her dismissive and arrogant. But the real problem? Fans took it personally. Really personally. One Twitter user summed it up best. Rachel Zegler woke up and chose violence against our childhoods. But Rachel's biggest misstep wasn't just her opinions, it was her attitude. Disney fans aren't exactly known for staying quiet, so when she joked about her Snow White gown feeling like a prison jumpsuit and claimed she should have been paid extra just for wearing it, the internet went wild. I mean, seriously, Rachel. Cry. Me, a river of Disney dollars. Did Mickey Mouse forget to sign your paycheck? Because last time I checked, you weren't exactly working the Starbucks drive-thru between takes.
Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck? Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, all 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one. Cry me a river. She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed.
Rachel's dismissive attitude was already rubbing fans the wrong way, but her insistence on turning press interviews into mini lectures on feminism and politics, that's when things really took a turn. Suddenly, it felt like audiences were at a TED Talk instead of a Disney premiere. And the backlash? It was swift and brutal. Before you could even whistle while you work, Boycott Snow White was trending everywhere. What was supposed to be Disney's next big fairy tale moment turned into a PR nightmare overnight. Move over, Blake Lively. Hollywood had a new headline magnet. Now, usually when a movie flops, the studio just quietly moves on. But this wasn't just any flop. This was a Disney-level disaster. Industry analysts even predicted losses as high as $250 million. That's not just a bad box office run. That's the kind of loss that makes executives rethink everything.
So she just encapsulates everything that most of us cannot stand about modern day feminism and the left in general, and Hollywood.
To put things in perspective, Disney could have hired real dwarfs to mine actual diamonds and still spent less money than they did on this disaster. Behind the scenes, executives were in full-blown panic mode, scrambling to figure out their next move. And by next move, we mean desperately looking for ways to salvage a billion-dollar franchise. Imagine a room full of Disney execs, staring at spreadsheets, slowly realizing their lead actress had just poisoned the apple. But if you think Rachel stuck around to deal with the fallout, think again. In a plot twist straight out of a Hollywood thriller, she vanished. Literally. One day she was front and center, and the next, gone. Destination, Dubai. Now you know things are bad when a Hollywood star decides Dubai's desert heat is better. Then Hollywood's spotlight. Fans and conspiracy theorists went wild with speculation. Was she dodging lawsuits, avoiding Disney lawyers, or was this just an expensive way to escape Twitter trolls? One thing's for sure, nobody suddenly vacations in Dubai without a reason. And for someone caught in Hollywood's biggest scandal, the timing couldn't be more suspicious.
Where Steven Spielberg and co. were demanding that she prove how Latina she really is, since her name doesn't sound Latina, angrily saying, did I have to bring in my little abuelita for you to believe that I was Latina?
Rachel's sudden disappearance didn't just leave fans speculating, it sent Disney executives into full panic mode. Rumors started swirling that the studio might invoke morality clauses or even try to claw back part of her salary. Now, imagine being the poor executive who had to break that news to Rachel Zegler. Hey, so you actually owe Disney millions. Talk about a real-life fairy tale nightmare. But here's the thing. This situation was so unprecedented that even Hollywood's top lawyers were scrambling for answers. There's no what to do when your lead actress tanks your movie with tweets chapter in Disney's Crisis Management Handbook. And just when things couldn't get messier, Rachel's attempt at an apology backfired. Industry insiders whispered that the carefully worded Instagram post wasn't even hers. Disney's PR team had taken full control. And let's be honest, it had all the authenticity of a Frozen sequel. Manufactured, predictable, and ice cold. Fans weren't buying it either. Within minutes, they dissected the apology, pointing out how scripted and corporate it felt. Instead of putting out the fire, it just added more fuel.
And instead of being humble and grateful, she was entitled and a snot. 25,000 more just like her knocking on the same doors that she had opened to her. She had the opportunity of a lifetime, and I will look forward to her not getting cast in any more movies for a long time until she actually does learn something about humanity and humility.
There were even whispers that Rachel didn't want to post the apology at all, but after some intense behind-the-scenes pressure from frantic Disney executives, she finally caved. Because nothing screams genuine remorse like being contractually forced to apologize, right? But here's where things get even more interesting. Some believe Rachel's sudden getaway to Dubai wasn't just a casual vacation. Was she meeting with international lawyers, dodging something bigger than PR backlash? Could Disney actually be preparing legal action behind closed doors? The signs are suspicious. She's deleted comments, wiped social media interactions, and completely disappeared from the public eye. If this were just about bad press, why go to such extremes? Meanwhile, social media detectives are on the case, tracking private jet movements, digging through deleted content, and piecing together clues to predict her next move. Honestly, at this point, Rachel's Dubai trip feels less like a getaway and more like a full-on escape mission.
When it got announced, it was a huge...
You mean your guess is as good as mine
ethnicity? It was like trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry. I don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that.
There's nothing more effective than 19-year-olds educating the rest of the voting public while yelling, "Okay, boomer."
As wild as all of this sounds, it's only the beginning. Behind the scenes, rumors suggest that Rachel is completely shattered by how fast everything unraveled. Close friends describe her as devastated, overwhelmed, and even scared. And honestly, who wouldn't be? She went from Spielberg's rising star to Disney's biggest controversy almost overnight. One day, she's being praised as Hollywood's next big thing, and by lunchtime, she's less popular than a reboot nobody asked for. Her team is split on what to do next. One side wants a full-fledged redemption tour, carefully crafted apologies, heartfelt interviews, and a complete image makeover. The other side, they're wondering if it's time to step away from Hollywood altogether. Maybe something low-key, like accounting or, underwater basket weaving, because right? Now, anything seems like a safer bet than trying to win back Disney fans.
They didn't earn it the same way, and so it comes with this entitlement. This person was born looking a certain way and has a God-given ability to lie. The movie went over budget.
Sure, Disney lost over $250 million, but the real debate is, does Rachel actually deserve all this backlash? Some argue she was set up to fail from the start. Disney handed her a script that alienated longtime fans and then left her to take the heat alone when things went south. Others say Rachel dug her own grave. turning a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity into a PR disaster with careless remarks and an attitude that rubbed audiences the wrong way. Either way, this entire fiasco is now a Hollywood cautionary tale. In an era where one viral comment can destroy a career, even Disney's deep pockets couldn't contain the damage. So what now? Will Rachel return from Dubai with a carefully crafted redemption plan? Or is she about to fade into Hollywood obscurity? Name whispered in industry circles but never attached to major projects again? Insiders are already hinting at canceled roles, producers backing away, and studios quietly distancing themselves. Hollywood doesn't forgive easily, especially when you become the face of one of Disney's biggest flops.
Rachel Zegler. And I've got no real issue with that, although of course Snow White was called Snow White because her skin was as white as the snow.
Rachel's career is now hanging by a thread, and it's even thinner than Cinderella's glass slipper. But here's the real twist. It's not just Rachel scrambling to recover, Disney is too. This Snow White disaster has forced Hollywood to rethink everything, from how they cast actors to how they handle PR disasters. Insiders say this controversy might trigger stricter contracts, deeper background checks, and tighter control over how stars present themselves online. In other words, Rachel Zegler may have accidentally changed Hollywood forever, just not in the way she imagined. So, is this the final chapter of Rachel's Hollywood story? Right now, it feels more like a Greek tragedy than a fairy tale. Big dreams, bigger downfall, and a legacy now tied more to controversy than success. Whether she meant it or not, this is how the world will remember her.
Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White, the character, herself.
The big question on everyone's mind: can this fallen Disney princess ever find her happily ever after? Or will she forever be remembered as the star who poisoned her own apple? As the world watches, Disney faces a harsh reality: modernizing beloved. Classics is a dangerous game. Push too far, and fans fight back. The Rachel Zegler saga is a brutal wake-up call that even Disney's Magic Kingdom isn't immune to real-world backlash. When fairy tales collide with woke reality, the result isn't just controversy, it's an explosion. So what do you think? Is Rachel Zegler a victim of bad corporate decisions, or is she the latest cautionary tale of ego and entitlement gone too far? Can she ever recover from this fallout, or is her career officially exiled from Hollywood? One thing's for sure: this drama is far from over. Disney, Hollywood, and Rachel herself now face some of the toughest decisions of their careers. So stay tuned, because the Magic Kingdom's biggest scandal is only just beginning. Until next time, keep watching. This is one story you don't want to miss.